Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Brad with Vagrant RC here. Got a new toy landed, the Losi Lasernut. Been looking forward to this thing for a while, been wanting one for a while. There's a local group that has started up some U4 racing, and I definitely wanted the mix of that. Sounds like a ton of fun. I love me some slow speed crawl and the technical stuff, but I like to go fast too. So the Losi Lasernut's going to do that for us on some racing. It'll have some upgrades coming that aren't here yet. But without further ado, let's dive in this thing and take a look. All right, let's do it. Looking forward to this. All right. It is beautiful, boys and girls. It's beautiful. Would you look at that thing? Man, it's big. So we got the truck. This is an RTR truck. So, you know, throw a battery in it if you've got the appropriate battery. And put the charger on, or you should have all the accessories right in this box. We'll get into that here in just a second. Let me move some stuff out of the way. Man, that suspension is plush. All right, y'all, let's open this beauty up. Take a look. I like that right off the bat. Your body clips are tethered on with little silicone rubber or whatever. And these things on the body opens up like that. It just hinges from back here by the rear shock post or shock mount. Pretty neat. They're equipped with Spectrum ESC and well, all electronics, servo, motor, ESC, and of course the receiver. I don't know about the motor and the ESC. I'll probably run those as they are for now. I'm pretty sure I'll be upgrading the servo and the steering linkage stuff almost right off the bat, just because those things typically on RTRs, you know, don't tend to be great. But we're gonna try it out just as it is anyway, and just see how she runs, man. I'm super stoked about this thing. I just love the way this thing's put together. It's got an aluminum belly pan here, aluminum chassis. Of course, like most RTRs, you know, plastic. I'm not sure what grade of plastic those are. Control arms. Of course, this, you know, the Lasernut is front and rear independent suspension. So can run in that front and rear IFS class and U4 racing. I'll be using a couple of different trucks for running the IFS class with the solid rear axle. So anyway, here's the inside here. I guess let's say, what connector is that? IC5 connector on the for your ESC. Big old battery tray here. I did get my batteries. They just showed up. So we'll actually, while we were filming this video, they got delivered. So they're the wrong connector, but I think I can do some soldering and straighten that out. So that's the inside. Take a look at the back. I love that the drivers here, they try to get a lot of scale out of this thing. You know, you got ditch lights here and a light bar, all of which are actually wired up, so they appear to work. You know, you get the oxygen or breather tube in the helmets of the driver and passenger there. It's just kind of a neat truck. But a lot of little scale bits to try to make it look realistic. I mean, even just the body panels here on the side, the inserts, to try to give it some depth and three-dimensional view there. Even back here, you get some vents on the back and things. Kind of give it a lot of scale look, like the real Lasernut out there. So pretty cool build, man. I really like these things. So I've never actually gotten to drive one, so we're going to find that out soon enough. We'll find out what it needs on upgrades to get better performance out of it, because, you know, there's always something better you can do to get better performance out of your machine. But we're going to find out. This thing should be a riot, man. I can't wait. Let's get into the other box here and see what accessories it came with. Move this aside for just a minute. All right, so this is the accessory box that's with it. Comes with some batteries, apparently. Probably for your transmitter, I would expect. Can't imagine anything else it would be for. Move that out of the way for a moment. Those dudes opened up. Just set them up here in the tray for now. And this box. All right. Everything's nice and bubble wrapped in there. That's nice. Keep your electronics, your transmitter from getting destroyed in shipping. And that's it out of there. Let's get that. So comes with a DX3 transmitter. So we'll run that for the moment because that's what it's hooked up to, and we'll get that thing set up. And then of course here's the owner's manual. Let's get that dude open. Appears to come with a spare pinion, a couple tools. It's got a grub for your pinion in there. And I'm not quite sure. It looks like a keychain, a Lasernut keychain. Got some contact info for, or follow info for social media stuff on it. So that's what's in there. Of course, a little decal. Who doesn't love their decals? I mean, you can see my collection back here. I've got a lot more of those. I like to put these companies up here that I like and support them. And of course the owner's manual. So instructions. Looks like it's going to give multiple languages, of course. That's pretty standard nowadays. There you have it. Okay, y'all. We got a battery put in this dude. I did a little soldering, swapped it over to an XT60, both on the battery and the ESC XT60 connector. Already powered it up, made sure it was bound up and everything, but I'll do that again here real quick. Obviously, the receiver going first here, or transmitter going first. Power this thing up. Going through this little setup, gives a little wiggle of the steering wheel, or the servo. I can already tell you, I haven't taken this thing off the bench, obviously, just yet. We're going to go outside here in a minute and do that, but this servo is not going to be to my liking, I can tell you that. I mean, I'm sure it'll get the job done for a lot of folks, but I'm that guy. I like to upgrade things. I can't leave anything stock. This thing definitely has some upgrades coming to it, but man, I'm loving the way this thing is set up and looks. Right now, I jammed a 5,200 milliamp hour 4S battery in this thing. So, oh, and I was reading a little bit on the owner's manual. Let me cover this before we go out. So I mentioned earlier the extra pinion it comes with. That's actually a 14-tooth pinion. And the one that's on here, according to the owner's manual, is a 12-tooth pinion. What it says in the owner's manual is not to run this 14-tooth pinion is intended to be run if you're going to run 3S on this thing. It even specifically says not to run the 14-tooth pinion with 4S batteries because it'll damage the ESC and or motor. I think it said motor as well. So I would think they wouldn't cover any warranty stuff or anything like that if there is any. If you go outside their parameters, I guess especially since they specifically listed it in their owner's manual. So anyway, that's that. Let's close this dude up, go outside and put it on the ground and see what she does. All right, y'all. So, I mean, I live on 1 acre out here. I don't know if you can see background behind me here. I got a pretty good sized yard. It's got some pretty cool little terrain changes to it and things that were kind of fun to hit this car, you know, at speed. I saw somebody else did a YouTube video where on 4S, this thing right out of the box will run 45 miles an hour is what they gauged it at with this particular pinion in it. I believe that this thing will get it across my backyard. The downside is to that the steering's kind of sloppy and the steering servo definitely needs an upgrade, like I've already mentioned. So, you know, you feel a little bit out of control when you're going that fast, but it's not crazy, but you know, it needs an upgrade. So going to do that, and you know, hopefully feel a little bit better about high speeds. I'd rather put the money into an upgrade on that stuff and be able to have really positive control of my truck. And you know, I'll probably save myself some money on running into stuff and repairs I'll have to do if I go ahead and spend the money on the upgrades now. So in the long run, at least, and you know, have more fun, of course, with more precision in the steering. All right, y'all, that's going to wrap it up on the unboxing and initial impressions of my new Losi Lasernut. If you are in the market for a U4 truck, you need to add this thing to your list. This thing is an absolute riot to drive. It needs to be something you take a look at minimum. I managed to crash it a few times, a couple of them pretty hard on some, you know, took a good tumble. I hit a pretty hard dip and flipped it end over end several times, and it just flipped back over and kept on going. Hit a tree with it. Hit the fence with it a couple times. A couple times I got up here and got the steering bound up when I hit stuff, and fully expected to see broken steering components, and didn't. It actually held up quite well. So that was a big relief for me. You know, I'm a little nervous about that with a truck that's going to go this fast on 4S, but you know, it did great, and I'm super impressed with it. Of course, there's a couple of upgrades I want to make, but that's just me. I like to upgrade things. I have a hard time leaving anything stock. So this thing is an absolute riot to drive. I highly recommend you trying to catch one if you're interested in getting into U4, especially if you want the independent front and rear suspension. So anyway, that'll wrap up this little video. If you guys like what you're seeing here on Vagrant RC, please like and subscribe, and y'all keep on tiny trucking. Thanks for watching Vagrant RC.